but it's always the same. Playing with a boy. Playing with a couple boys. Appetites and sunsets. Playing with the boys. I threw a pencil in the air. Sports Mass Collective, episode 118. I'm bigger than you last saw me, and I'm better, and he ain't got a brother. Famous quote from Almost Heroes, Chris Farley's last movie before he died of drugs. Of course, Almost Heroes. Shout out to Chris Farley. Shout out to Almost Heroes. Almost Heroes is one of my favorite comedies. Matt Perry also dead, the main character, but one of the great lines, he ain't got a brother. Anywho, if you know, you know. If you don't, in the words of Tommy Lee Jones in The Fugitive, I don't care. And already, this is a better show than anything else out there. Thank you for joining us live. Thank you for joining us later. As always, the mercenary of sport, the Socrates of sport, the Nostradamus of national pastime, the Aristotle of athletics. I'm your host, Jim Stansel. All-American athlete, elite athlete, heart, according to my Jew doctor. And so you know she ain't lying, because it's either doctors or running the world economy, one or the other. They can be trusted with either of those, and they're doing really well with both, let me tell you. And my doctor said I have the heart of an elite athlete. My resting heart rate was high 50s, folks. That was just last week. I just talked about it on Ski Mask Collective, but I know not everyone watches that. She didn't touch my balls. I was surprised. They don't touch your balls anymore, the doctor, I guess, not until you're 45 or something. So I got some time. Folks, it's been a bit. I think it's been about a month. You know how I do in the good weather. You know the motto, hashtag leave your house. I got shit to do. I got my own sports to play and things to do. But I was bored today, so I'll throw you fine people a bone and bless you with my sports and athletic knowledge and prowess, frankly. Yes. Oh, threw in some new workouts recently. Really paying the bills. Anywho, where do we begin and where do we end? As always, if you want something definitely read, super chat it. I'll read the poor people. The real MVPs, just cut the bullshit and send it to my accountant at DaveD23, patreon.com, SkiMaskMedia. And somebody who actually use it, I'll actually use your money for sport. I will be at the Mets-Dodgers Sunday night national baseball game, folks. Your boy, your host, Jim Stansel, will be in the stadium right there on field level where I always am, section 135, screaming at Michael Conforto, who apparently is a Dodgers left fielder. So yes, I'll buy a beer, or don't send money. Either way, but this isn't that kind of show. Where do you want to start? I mean, let's start with the most important thing. It is lacrosse championship weekend, NCAA championship weekend. I'll be honest, I got to look up who's actually in it. But I know the Final Four is tomorrow, and of course, the most American game on Memorial Day on Monday at 1 o'clock, the championship. But I'll be honest, I'm always outside of my house, and I am looking up who the hell is in it. And, it's just, you search something and you think it would come right up. but everything's retarded. So literally put lacrosse NCAA championship and 9 other things that aren't. Obviously, it's the day before it starts, so why would I be looking up anything else other than the teams that are playing in the championship? God! Fuck Jeff Bezos. Who runs Google? Thank you. Semifinals preview. Thank you. All right. Tomorrow at noon, Cornell versus Penn State. Number 1, Cornell. 1 seed Cornell. Number 5, Penn State. And at 2:30 tomorrow, we have 2 seed Maryland taking on 6 seed Syracuse. I did see a decent amount of these teams this year because lacrosse is the ultimate athlete's game. Anybody who plays lacrosse can play other sports. Not everybody who play other sports can play lacrosse, as you have to be a pretty elite athlete to be able to handle the game of lacrosse. You not only have to have hand-eye coordination, you have to have speed, you have to have toughness, you have to be a man enough to be able to get hit with a steel pole repeatedly and not be a bitch and complain about it. Truly the ultimate man's game, the ultimate sport. America's. I have a t-shirt that I wear every Memorial Day that says on the back, America's original pastime, lacrosse, because it is. Deal with it. Lacrosse was here with our beautiful native forefathers. They used it as practice for war. That's a fact. Imagine soccer players playing lacrosse. It would just be 22 bodies lying down, rolling around. And frankly, at this point, could be NBA players too playing lacrosse the way, but we'll get to that. How embarrassing. The culmination of the embarrassment the NBA has been coming together this postseason. We'll get to that. We will get to the NFL schedules. We'll talk a little bit of foosball there as well. But let's get back. What else do I have on my little list here? We got some shit to get to. We'll talk Mets. We'll talk baseball. We will. What else is on the docket? We'll talk Caitlin Clark. And, yeah. But as I said, where was I? Picking the final lacrosse for the ultimate man's game, truthfully, frankly. Cornell, Penn State. I like Cornell there. And in Maryland, Syracuse, I like when Maryland wins. You know, the birthplace of modern lacrosse, you could argue, is down there in Maryland. And I like Crabs. That said, watch the upset in the 2:30 game tomorrow. Syracuse does have a good team, perennial power, wonderful coach. So I wouldn't be surprised if Maryland does get upset by Syracuse. I wouldn't be surprised if Penn State takes Cornell. But that's the beauty of lacrosse. It's a game of runs. You know, a team can be up 10-5 in lacrosse, and that's still, still a close game. In hockey, if you're up by 5 goals, you might as well just not play for the rest of the year. And hockey, the playoffs have really petered out with these teams, huh? Panthers and who gives a fuck, and the Oilers and the Stars. Just boring, pretty shitty markets. I guess the Edmonton Oilers have that chick who pulled those big dumb red tits out. Other than that, too bad. I mean, listen, the NHL playoffs, wonderful to watch, very fun. The fans that are there get into it, but just about as unsexy a final NHL 4 as you're going to get, unfortunately. We had some interesting teams hanging around there for a while. But alas, who are the Panthers playing even? The Stars are playing the Oilers, right? And the Panthers are playing... This is the show, by the way. Oh, do you want me to pull up clips of other people? Do you want me to stream snipe somebody? No, this is a real fucking show. This isn't a super chat show. This is a real AM radio talk show. Call in. So go turn it off. Turn it off. I really don't care. Turn it off if you don't like it. I do this for fun. Oh, the Hurricanes. The former Hartford Whalers. The Hurricanes. I was going to root for them, but now they're down 2-0. Listen, the Panthers are going to win the championship again. It's going to go back to back. Rack me, rack you, and let's move the fuck on. I should have peed before I started, huh? Man. Oh, well. What's going on in my life? Oh, no big deal. Played basketball again last week. Honestly and truly, if the average person could see what I actually do in the gym day in, day out at the age of 39 would be... I mean, when I walk by people in the gym these days, when I have a sweat and a pump going, I can hear through my earbuds audible gasps. And that's what that's what you want to go for. Audible gasps. And you have to pronounce both. I'm an English major. You have to pronounce both S's in gasps. 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 Audible gasps from men and women alike. Yeah, 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 yeah. My doctor did say I'm overweight, about 10 to 15 pounds, and my cholesterol is a bit high, but I knew both of those things. Listen, a man has to live. There's something to be said, even though, I may get there myself, but there is something to be said against the guys who are totally jacked and bereft of fat, because what kind of lives are you leading in that case? As the great fat man from Metal Gear, what was the second one? Sons of Liberty. As the fat man boss that wore roller skates, so this is sports related. As the fat man from Metal Gear Solid Sons of Liberty said, laugh and grow fat. And it's true. Laugh and grow fat. Just don't get too fat. But to my point, there's something to be said. It's kind of gay and loserish to look like Mateo Lane or one of these guys who have zero fat, because that means you live probably a boring life. I mean, you're probably eating bland chicken and vegetables. I know how to do it if I wanted to do it. Give me a month if I wanted to. I can get totally ripped from abs to ass. But what kind of life is that, That's why you got to be honest with yourselves, folks. Being 10 to 15 pounds overweight is probably my sweet spot. Now, I'm planning on shaving 10 off just for the boys this summer. I want to look good for all the boys and myself. But, yeah, I think if you're a guy and you're over, because young guys, they have metabolism. Some of these young guys, if you have the body tape, let me tell you, some of these young boys do. Over 18, of course, but some of these young boys just have high metabolism. And because of that, it causes them to be beautifully jacked and ripped. And that's great. But when you see an older man, a man above 30, let's say, certainly older, with abs and totally vascular, it's like, all right, so what do you do? You just work out and don't eat and drink water? You're not going out and partying. You wouldn't look like that. You're not living a rich life of eating fine meals. You're certainly not smoking a joint and then stuffing your face with McDonald's with Julio on a Sunday night. So if you ever see a ripped guy and feel bad about yourself, just remember that they are probably gay nerds who live a boring life. So find the middle ground. Be fat. Who cares? Be whatever you want to be. And if you are fat, it's never too late. Get in the gym. if you're in the, that's why I'll never make fun of a fat person in a gym. I'll make fun of a fat person right now if I see one walk by, let me tell you. But I'll never make fun of a fat person in the gym because they're in the right place. I don't know what the fuck. Why am I? Yeah, but also lose some weight. You know what here's what and I don't even know what I'm talking about at this point. This is a sports show, and I am a I was a former certified personal trainer and All-American athlete, so I guess I can talk about these things. I will say this about being really fat. All I think about when I see really fat people is the skeleton inside of them, because your skeleton don't get fat. The skeleton doesn't get fat, and I just think about the hell you put your poor calcium skeleton through when you see these 600-pound people and that poor little skeleton inside of them. Oh, I just feel bad for that. I don't feel bad for the skeleton. I mean, I don't feel bad for the person at all. I feel bad for the skeleton that this is the fatso they had to deal with. But I digress. Look at that. Hey, this is all you need. This is the show. Boom, boom, boom. Good God almighty. Anyway, and by the way, as always, folks, no pills, no supplements, not even a protein shake. All this is work. Work when no one's watching. That's how you become an All-American athlete, just like your old pal Jim Stansel. Oh, speaking of, before we get to the topics at hand, oh my God, a wonderful honor. Was it just last weekend or 2 weekends ago? It all melds together in the spectrum of time and space across the astral plane. But they had an honor, the 25 years of Stanford lacrosse. They honored the original team. I mean, I put it on my Twitter. I mean, there's no beating around the bush. I got the biggest pop of all the announced alumni. No big deal. So the laurels just continue to stack. It's really unbelievable what's happening out here. This is so stupid. You guys know that watch this show. I can't say it enough. I do this show for myself. I have fun doing it. I don't care. I frankly don't care if nobody watches it. I've been doing this since I was a kid. Not like these losers who just brought computers and microphones and, oh, let me try that. I went to graphic art school. I'm a nerd. I can podcast too. Yeah, but you're a nerd, and you've always been a nerd, so what kind of life have you led? It's all boring. Anyhow, let's talk about the New York Mets, and let's talk about Juan Soto. Listen, last we talked, Mets off to a hot start, and I told you, and you know this, without fail, you knew that they're not one of these teams that's ever able to uphold that for a year. They never have, and they never will, because they're the Mets. So they are in a bit of a swoon right now, which very hot start is expected. Now, they're already back to second place in the division, which is fine this time of year. We're about a third of the way through the season already, if you can believe it, folks. And you know, everybody. I feel like everybody is desperately trying to make Juan Soto not hitting a big thing. Listen, I know it's been a third of the season. He doesn't have terrible. He has terrible numbers for him, not terrible numbers for another right fielder, your run-of-the-mill right fielder. I'll put the end first because I have ADHD and I can't wait to get to my point. I still think there is a hot run coming for Soto that's going to even out all these numbers. I have a feeling, honestly, that it's going to start this weekend. They get the Dodgers in town, which once again, they have the national game Sunday night, which of course I will be there with Aunt Mead. Same section there in left field level as always. # leave your house. But this is a sexy matchup in general. I didn't even look, but I'm willing to bet it will be the Fox national game on Saturday afternoon. Ohtani and the Dodgers coming to town. Always the Mets and Dodgers is a sexy full stadium because obviously the Mets colors stem from the Brooklyn Dodgers and the New York Giants of yore. If you didn't know that, you're welcome. And also learn something once in a while. I thought everybody knew that the Mets were orange and blue because of the Dodgers and the Giants. That's how they came to be. So in New York, you still have a decent amount of holdovers from their parents and grandparents who were Dodgers fans. So they always fill the stadium. So it'll be a full stadium tonight through Sunday. And yeah, I still am very confident Soto's going to put this all together. I have a feeling his run may start this weekend. Now, I will say this one thing. There is a season, and I'm not going to bring it up because it's not that kind of show, and frankly, I don't give a fuck. But he did have a season, I forget when it was, but he did have a season, I believe he hit around 260, 270, and had like 25, 27 home runs. My point being, Soto has had years where he's had a whole down year. So it isn't impossible. Now, if he does have that kind of year this year, it's gonna get tough for him playing in New York. As a fellow piece of shit Mets fan, I can tell you this. If he has an 0 for 4 tonight and maybe a big strikeout in a big spot, he's gonna get booed this weekend. That's where, for those who don't live in New York, for those who do live in New York and have your finger on your pulse, you probably know this. Maybe you don't because a lot of people are busy. He is on the cusp now of getting boos at his home park. We've done this before. It's New York. We want you to be great. Sorry, not sorry. So he's not. I don't think he's there just yet. But like I said, I think it's as close as if he had, like I said, an 0 for 4 or a big strikeout. With people on in late innings tonight. He's going to hear the boos tomorrow. He's going to hear the boos until he picks it up. I don't know if he knows that yet because the Yankees fans are all pussies and they rarely boo people. And frankly, I don't know if he cares. Soto has always had a laissez-faire attitude, as the cowardly French like to say. So I don't even know if he'll care. But Stancil Stradamus, I'm letting you fine folks know. He is on the cusp of being booed in his home ballpark. All that said, I gave you both sides. I have a feeling this is the weekend he hits it up. Because listen, I think he has 8 home runs, something like that right now. A hot week for Soto. He's right up there with 12 to 15 home runs. He's that kind of player that can do that. And with that will come his average and everything else. So that's what I mean where I say a Soto hot streak, and any of these great player hot streaks is different than a normal player's hot streak. He can fix these numbers in a very short period of time, a week to a week and a half, if he goes on one of these hot streaks. Now, the rest of the Mets bats have also gone cold, which of course always happens. They were hitting on all cylinders for 2 months. It's not going to happen forever. Lindor's having a tough go. Pete has cooled off dramatically. Nimmo was hot for a while, so all expected, coming back down to earth. So this is when this is when Soto really is going to be leaned on to pick up the slack, and he is due, if not overdue, to do so. Do. And I'm going to do something. Talk about breaking the fourth wall. I'm going to watch my own show for. I'm going to watch my own show for. What do you think's going to happen with the Jets this year? Talk about breaking the fourth wall. I'm going to watch my own show for. What do you think's going to happen with the Jets this year? Oh, good question. I'll get to that in a bit. I was just making sure. I'm lagging on my end because my computer's from 2016, and you people are all too much cowards to buy me a new one or send me money for a new one. So it's truly just this piece of shit. Vinny Cash is too much of a coward. All he could afford to send me was his microphone 9 years ago, and the coward doesn't even have the balls to buy me a new computer. And that's how you make money out here. At Dave D23, send the Venmo, buy me a beer at the game. I'm going to a concert tonight. Buy something there. Anyhow, that's the state of the New York Mets, you fucking pieces of shit. It is absolutely unbelievable what's happening out here. And let me say this. I never got to it on the Ski Mask we just recorded because Ski Mask is such a mess. I don't want to hear it. We had a spring this year. We had a spring here in the Northeast, which I assume that means everyone else. It's still in the 50s outside. And you know what I mean. The last couple of years, we don't even have spring no more. We don't even have fall or spring no more. It just goes from winter to summer. It just goes from summer to winter. Well, guess what? We had a spring. I don't want to hear it. 4 seasons are back, bitch. We had a spring. It's been 50 to 70 the last 2 months, 2+ months. So I don't want to hear it. If any of your coworkers at work fucking pull that hack line out this week, kick them in their teeth and tell them Stancil sent you. I don't want to hear about how we don't have spring anymore. It's been spring for 2 months. Beautiful spring. I'm not complaining. It's great. But we did 100% out of spring this year. So shut the fuck up about, no spring, no. Oh, no spring no more. And I'm getting really tired of all the. Hey, everybody. Not everything's a conspiracy. And when you call everything a conspiracy, it takes away from the ones that are. I'll just leave it at that because this is a sports show. But will you just shut up? Everything is not everything. Now, some things are things, and some things are not things. Some things are things, other things, not things. And you could take that to the bank. You fucking piece of shit. I have a anger issue. Anywho, let's get to more sports. We talked about lacrosse. We talked about the Mets. By the way, if you want to talk about anything else, I prefer you super chat it because I'm poor, as you can see by my computer. But feel free to put it in the poor people chat. We'll get to the poor people. If you're watching on Twitter, this is actually new to me because the views have been unbelievable, and I realize it's because this streams to my Twitter. Just a note, because I guess I'm an old bag and didn't know that, commenting on this on the Twitter post doesn't pop up on the show. So if you want to comment something, you have to pull it up on YouTube, which if you're under the age of 60 even, shouldn't be a big deal. So don't be a bitch and complain. But my point is, if you want your queries or questions, emphasis on queer, by the sports god, the Stancil Stradamus, feel free to put it in the poor people chat. If you want to be a real man, super chat. If you want to be the realest man, if you want to be a Sigma Alpha like me, that's when you'll Venmo the question. But you won't even have a question. You just say, hey, great show. Here's $3,000. That's what real man would do. At Dave D23 to my accountant, of course, not directly to me. I can't be trusted with money. Yeah, come on, let's go, baby. Yeah. Stinking cash. Anywho, I keep forgetting I'm sick. That's brisk, baby. Remember those commercials? And boy, that's great. The Knicks, the New York Knicks, and that's a CK, not a G, folks. Everybody calm down. Blue and I mean, it's been covered ad nauseum at this point. I just have a couple things to add. The Knicks total, and it was a choke. You can be mad at Halliburton all you want. Absolutely was a choke. You can't be up 15 with 2 minutes and 50 seconds left. Look at the light makes it look like my pupils are in my sunglasses. Look at. Da-da-da-da-da. Look like the Terminator. I look like a retard Terminator the way the lights are reflecting. I told you I have ADHD. Look at it. Looks like my pupils are glowing. What movie did I just... Oh, Sinners. I look like the evil, terrible white people in Sinners. Did you guys see Sinners? Aren't white people bad, folks? By the way, we get it. I'll just say that. Guys, hey, my brothers, we get it. Okay? It's 2025. Okay? Avert your anger to the government and your own community that has been holding you down for all these years instead of constantly blaming anyone else. But I digress. The New York Knicks. Jalen, here's what I'll say about the huge choke they had the other night. This is all you need to know, and this goes to my point that I said last time we did a show, which is unbelievable, which is why they call me Stancil-Stradamus. And I told you, Jalen Brunson, I understand he's their player, he's their star player. Watch his gameplay. He's the guy for you fellow ballers. He's the guy when you go to a court that nobody wants to play with. He only passes if he absolutely has. Now, granted, he's a good shooter. He's not a great three-point shooter, by the way. But he's a good shooter. He's good at making space, great ball handling. But he's the guy when you go play pickup, nobody wants to play with because he never passes the ball unless he absolutely has to. And here, this is a beautiful line that your old pal Stancil found from his night the other night. Jalen Brunson had 43 points in that choke job the other night. Now, on the surface, you'll say, well, he did his part. Listen to this. Jalen Brunson, I think he was on the floor for 36 minutes, if I remember correctly. 43 points. Point differential, -7 when he was on the floor. For you low IQs, for you dolts that don't know what that means. That means when Jalen Brunson was on the floor, the Knicks lost 7 points. And that goes, so he had 43 points. That means the Pacers scored 50 points while he was on the floor. My point being, I shouldn't have to explain my point. That's the point. Is that the point? Do people understand that? The Knicks were -7 while Jalen Brunson was on the floor. That tells you all you need to know about the kind of player he is. And he had 43 points. It's not like he had 10 points and they outscored him by 7 and they scored 17. He had all those, unbelievable. Do you get what I'm saying? Do I get what I'm saying? I get what I'm saying, but my mouth sometimes doesn't meet my brain. But anyway, you heard it here first. Jalen Brunson, 43 points, and was still -7 in point differential. Also, he had 7 turnovers on top of it. Brutal. You're up by, 15 with under 3 minutes left. I don't want to hear about a goaltend. I don't want to hear about a foul that didn't get called. Take it and shove it up Larry Johnson's grandmama ass. So, hold on. I might have to fart in a microphone. This is big. Nope. Sorry, folks. Sorry to let you down. We'll try again. Hack take, but has to be said, the Knicks have to win this evening. After a loss like that, to go down 2-0, that will be the end. And why I say that is, if game 1 was a back-and-forth game, that huge choke job didn't happen, they lose the game, whatever. You can make the case, okay, Knicks win tonight, they even it, or Pacers win tonight, they win another close one. Okay, Knicks can come back for 2. If Knicks blow the lead they blew, which I think got up to 20-something at one point, and then lose the second game and go down 2-0 and are going back to Indiana, good night the lights, as the kids say. because the momentum will be through. I am really loving the way these lights are looking like my pupils in my sunglasses. Isn't that cool? Look it. It looks like my pupils. I look like a terrible Irish racist from Sinners. And by the way, that dumb Asian mother broad is the one who really ruined it for everybody. They were all outside, and that damn Asian woman opened the door. But I digress. No matter what happens, by the way, just cut to the chase. The Thunder are winning the championship. Period. Stop. Samson Stradamus. It's over. So nothing really matters. The Knicks aren't beating the Thunder. The Pacers aren't beating the Thunder, and the Timberwolves aren't beating the Thunder. I was hoping for the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves win. I think whoever wins that series wins the championship. But it's looking like the Thunder are going to win the championship, so almost no reason to watch any of the games anymore, especially if the Knicks lose tonight. In a bit, again, as you know, if you watch the show, I'm a loyal Bulls fan from my Jordan upbringing. I don't. It was funny to me watching the Knicks fans go hog wild over a second round series win. Pretty embarrassing. More and more embarrassing if they get eliminated fairly quickly here. I got Pacers in 5. Rack me. Next. Swing low. How about this one, folks? You know, the golden pipes of broadcasting. Swing low, sweet chariot, come forth, carry me home. What's my other one from days of yore I like to sing randomly by myself in my car? Oh, it's coming to me. It's coming to me now. It's coming to me now. It's the old Negro spiritual work song, which I do quite enjoy. Oh, ready? Old Man River, that old man river, he keeps on roving. And don't say nothing, he just keeps rolling along. Old Man River, that old man river, he keeps on rolling, and he don't say nothing. He just keeps rolling along. The Venmo is at DaveD23 for my accountant, folks. Oh, boy, do I entertain myself far more than any of these losers who make these shows can. And they're all cowards. And I'm tired of the cowards. Honestly, I'm getting very tired of the cowards in podcasting. We're taking the company line about a lot of political things, but I digress. That old man. You're a comic. Hey, you're a comic. Hey, take a stand that's not the norm. Oh, Trump's so dumb. And he is dumb. I'm not a Trump fan. I'm not a fan. But just say, it's so stupid. Oh, RFK's so dumb. Anyway, I digress. In general, though, since we're talking about the Knicks, I do like that the NBA, it's all coming to a head for the NBA as far as the players embarrassing themselves. You know, if you're a casual sports fan like me and have watched throughout the season, you see the level of flop going on. You see the terrible game plans and gameplay going on with guys just shooting 50 to 60 threes a game. I mean, ridiculous. And now that they have the nation watching, more people are talking about, like, this is like Gilgeous SGA, Shea, whatever the fuck he is. He's not even American. SGA flopping. I mean, the Doncic flopping and the head bobbing around, pretending he's getting hit. I mean, it's all so embarrassing. And I'm glad the mainstream are finally being forced to talk about it, because people that are watching these playoffs are like, what are these homos doing? These guys can never play lacrosse. That's what everybody's saying. Like, oh my God, these guys flop like that for getting slapped on the wrist. They can never play the athlete's game, the creator's game known as lacrosse. Never. They couldn't last. LeBron couldn't last a second on a lacrosse field, that's for sure. Have you ever seen him throw a baseball? Bye. Yeah, who cares? Who cares about any of this, really? We're going to get to NFL in a second. Caitlin Clark, the great white hope. She's doing it. Listen, Caitlin, just hold the line. It's all falling into place, Caitlin. And it's not a racial thing. It's just a low IQ thing. Clearly, and I guess, frankly, it is a bit of a racial thing, as the white people have been, I don't live 2 centuries ago, nor did I live 2 centuries ago, so I have absolutely nothing to apologize or be ashamed of. So with that said, the constant drum beating of the whites and the white men and women is very old. And I think even the average, the normal black person you run into the world, my friends included, are just like, yeah, it's all nonsense. Nobody cares. Yeah, let's you want to persecute people for shit their great-grandparents did. I'm Polish. The Holocaust was only not even a century ago. So should I seek reparations from the Jews? Get what I'm saying? Hey, I hate to say it. I don't hate to say it, but I know it's just so hack and like it makes you sound like one of these idiotic right-wing podcasters who I'm also sick of. Like this Lily Gaddis girl, like she's not funny at all. She's literally just a racist. If you have some context to it, if you're doing a show, but she's literally just covering news as a racist. Stop supporting this girl. She's gross, disgusting. She's just as bad as the other side saying all whites are the devil. I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about actually now. Oh, Caitlin Clark. Yeah, it's nice to see. Everybody, Angel Reese tried to do it herself, pump her as this great player, especially because she had the feud with the evil white woman, Caitlin Clark, and I hope I can find it quickly. I saw Angel Reese's number for this season. And as the kids say once again, this ain't it, fam. She's averaging 12 points per game, 1 assist per game. Let's see the career. Let me just see. 20-25. 2 games played. Wait, what the fuck? A regular season total. The fuck is this? I can't do math, guys. I don't fucking know. All right, let's just move on. You know what? At the end of the day, it's women's basketball. So, still nobody should care. I do like how all these other black women players are trying to get in on the action, because now they know, everybody knows, like, starting beef with Caitlin Clark gets you views and gets you covered. I hope she continues to do what she's been doing, which is A, keep playing well, and B, I'm glad she's not totally taking the ultimate high road, being not reacting at all and not doing nothing. I'm glad Caitlin Clark is drawing back. Like the foul on Angel Reese, if you watch the full replay, Angel Reese, look at it, I'm saying Muriel. Angel Reese pushed her teammate. Angel Reese pushed her teammate to get that rebound. and Caitlin Clark saw it and gave her a nice hard foul. That's what you're supposed to do. And then the other night, or if it wasn't last night, some other broad pushing her around, and she was like, I don't give a fuck about you. And I wouldn't mind her taking the bad girl stance for a bit. I think if she thinks that she can get any bigger, that's the way to do it. You want to really push your fandom fame to the next level, Caitlin. Become the bad guy in all this. But who gives a fuck? I don't really care about sports much these days. As I do a sports show. Old Man River, that old... Let's take a look at the NFL. Let's take a look at the NFL schedules. The Giants... the Giants could probably not even play. Giants should just take a year off. Have you seen the New York Giants schedule, folks? Ready for this? If you haven't seen the New York Giants schedule, be prepared and take the under now before more people see it. Week 1, Giants at Commanders, loss. Week 2, Giants at Cowboys, loss. Week 3, Chiefs at Giants, loss. Week 4, Chargers at Giants, loss. Week 5, Giants at Saints, loss. Week 6, Eagles at Giants, loss. Week 7, Giants at the Bo Nix Broncos, loss. Week 8, Giants at the Eagles, loss. Week 9, Niners at the Giants, loss. Week 10, Giants at the Bears. Maybe they get their first win. Week 11, Packers at Giants, loss. Week 12, Giants at the Lions on Thanksgiving, loss. I forget, week 13, sure. I don't know, forgot where it was. Giants at the Patriots, loss. Week 14, Commanders at Giants, loss. Week 15, Vikings at Giants, loss. Week 16, Giants at Raiders, loss. Week 17, Cowboys at Giants, loss. The Giants aren't favored in a single game by Vegas. Now, obviously, do I think they'll actually have one win? No. The NFL is the NFL. Because of the parity there is year in and year out. There's 1 to 5 teams you can bet, will be in the playoffs, and then the rest always inevitably turns into a crapshoot. Now, the Giants luckily have the Panthers, who should take the trophy as the worst team in the NFL, but the Giants, unfortunately, aren't far behind. Obviously, I expect a couple upsets in there, but that schedule, boy, oh boy. Boy, oh boy. 3 to 5 wins. And 5 is a lot looking at the schedule. I mean, I'm not going to go through it again. I mean, again, it's the NFL, so on any given Sunday, as Al Pacino said, you got to claw with your fingernails for that inch. Look at the guy next to you. Look into his eyes. And know that you're going to do the same for him. I used to have that speech. I burned that speech to a CD, a musical CD, a compact disc we used to call them. And I used to play it in my car very loudly before I endeavored into sporting events. Yeah, any given Sunday, anything can happen. You might even see a great ass. Anywho, let's take a look at the Jets schedule, shall we? Jets, as you know, it's been about a month since we talked, but just to reiterate, the Jets 100% should have never let Aaron Rodgers go. Aaron Rodgers should and will still sign with the Steelers. That obviously makes the most sense. Ready to win right there in Pittsburgh. I think they're just waiting on him. Listen, Aaron Rodgers is a weird guy. We know what kind of guy he is. I like him. I like a guy who speaks his mind oh, nice big pair of tits just walked by. Nice. Where was I? Oh, yeah. But he definitely is a bit of a prima donna. Listen, I think his mindset is this. If you were to ask him off of camera, not even if you were to ask him, he probably still wouldn't admit it. If you were to get in his brain, here's what's going on with Aaron Rodgers. He's achieved everything he wanted to achieve in the NFL. He's playing with house money. If he doesn't play this year, it doesn't matter to him. He wants to play, wants another payday, wants to go to a ready-to-win team. That team it was the Jets, but the fucking Jets are idiots. I'd still be fine if they sign him now, frankly. Justin Fields is not a great quarterback. He'll help them win a couple games, but he's not. He ain't it, fam. So the Jets shouldn't, but the Jets, obviously, as the Jets do, their front office are totally lost year after year for decades now. Never can make the right decision. The Pittsburgh ready to win right now. Unbelievable talent around him. He will end up there. If he plays, it will be with the Pittsburgh Steelers, period, stop. I think it doesn't matter to him. He can hold out. He can afford to hold out. He's achieved everything he wants, but I think he's waiting as long as he can. And that also allows him, by the way, on his personal life. Again, we're in his brain. He can do whatever he wants. He was just on Rogan this week. He can go on vacations. If he doesn't sign till training camp, in July, he has all summer, the next few months, to travel, do whatever he wants. Once you sign the contract, you have to go to certain team functions. You have to go, certain, not workouts, but you have to save face. You got to worry about sponsors. You got to do all that. So there's no reason for a guy like him. And again, we're in Aaron Rodgers' brain right now. Why would he sign until as late as he absolutely possibly can, so that way he can. We know Aaron Rodgers likes to do him as a real, should. So that way he still has the next couple months. He can travel, do ayahuasca, shove his thumb up his butt, whatever he wants to do, and doesn't have to worry about the team he's signed by. He may even have some unspoken thing with the Steelers, way unspoken, off the charts, off the record, about, hey, I'm taking the summer. I'll sign at the latest possible date, but I'll be there. I think that's what's going on. I think that's what makes the most sense. He's expressed he wants to play. I believe he wouldn't say that. Otherwise, he's just making more drama for himself by saying that. So that is, and you know what, frankly, that is, I'm not going to say I think, that is what's happening. Stancil Stradamus, rack me. See me in a couple months when he signs with the Steelers and tell me I'm right. Thanks. All right, we got the Jets schedule pulled up here, folks. Let's take a peek. And you think they did this by accident? I got news for you. This first game wasn't by accident. Steelers at the Jets, week 1, regular season. Stancil Stradamus. You think the NFL doesn't know that Aaron Rodgers is signing with the Steelers, and they made the first game to go back into MetLife and to totally dismantle the Jets and embarrass me? Well, not embarrass me so much, because I told the Jets they should never got rid of him, but embarrass the franchise as they should. The Jets franchise should be embarrassed. Made no sense letting Aaron Rodgers go with the talent that the Jets have. Now they got some guy who couldn't cut it in Chicago. And I got news for you. He ain't going to cut it behind this O-line. This O-line are rookies. They're not going to be able to go. So, yeah, that's all the proof you need right there that they know that Rodgers is signing with the Steelers. So Steelers at the Jets week 1. That's a loss. Bills at the Jets week 2. And listen, the Jets, let me take, I looked at it before and I forgot. Yeah, the Giants schedule is rougher, but this is no picnic for the Jets either, especially the front end of this Jets season. Here we go again. Steelers at Jets week 1. Bills at Jets week 2. Obviously, both of those are tough games, if not losses. Jets at Buccaneers week 3. The Bucs put it all together down the road. I think the Bucs are once again going to be a good team. Jets at the Dolphins. Okay, that's a winnable game. Cowboys at the Jets. That is a winnable game for the Jets, unless the Cowboys really get it back on track. Broncos at the Jets. Same thing, winnable game. Panthers at the Jets. That should 100% be a win. Jets at Bengals. Tough game. You got to believe the so thorough Joe Burrow, beautiful boy, is going to get it back on track after last year. Browns at the Jets, winnable game. Although that's going to be, what's his name? Sanders, playing his first game in the biggest market in the world. They're going to get up for that game. And the media is going to be all over that game, the Browns at the Jets, November 9th. So that might have a little more pressure than it normally would. Otherwise, Browns-Jets, that's a win. Jets at the Patriots, not going to be easy. Jets at the Ravens, good night, the lights. Falcons at the Jets, okay, winnable. Dolphins at the Jets, another winnable. Jets at Jags. If they get it back on track, that's a toss-up. Jets at Saints. Jets should win. Could be a tough game. Patriots at Jets, second to last game. And Jets finish at the Bills on January 4th. So let's go back through real quick. Let's see if I'm going to count the wins way in advance here. We'll probably do this again, before this, in the week one or before the season starts. But let's see. Steelers at Jets. I'm going Steelers there. You got the Jets, Steelers at Jets, and the Bills at Jets. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take one win out of those two games. Being slightly optimistic. Listen, the Jets defense was good last year. When your team is playing as poorly as the Jets offense did last year, the defense, as a defender myself, the defense, I'm not going to say give up, but the fire isn't there. Why are we going to play defense? Our offense can't score. So let's give the Jets one win of those first two against the Steelers and the Bills. That's one. Jets at Buccaneers. We're going to do the same thing here. Jets at Bucks and Jets at Dolphins. I'm going to go same thing there. Give them one win of those two. So we are 2-2 through 4 games as the Jets. Cowboys at Jets. I'm going to give the Jets the win there. 3-2. Broncos at Jets. Let's give them the win there. 4-2. Panthers at Jets. 5-2. Jets at Bengals. Let's give them a loss there to 5-3, but let's give them the win against the Browns to move them to 6-3. The Jets and Pats is the next game. I'm gonna go. We'll go loss there. I think the Jets will split the Pats series. So what's that? 6-4. Jets at Ravens, 6-5. Falcons at Jets, 7-5. Dolphins at Jets, 8-5. Jets at Jags. That's a game they love to lose. Let's go 8-6. Jets at Saints. Let's go 8-7 there. Patriots at Jets. That could be their win, 9-7. And Jets at Bills, 9-8. So there you go. Which is about right with this lineup. That's about right. 9-8. Maybe they'll be 10-7. Maybe they'll be 8-9. That sounds about right. I just did it live with you fine folks on the air. That sounds about right. They do have skilled players on offense. I just don't know if Justin Fields can play the quarterback position. You know me, year after year, I think he looks like a frog. It looks like his mother took to drink and or drugs during her pregnancy. It looks like he has a bit of fetal alcohol syndrome, if I may. So I don't believe in Justin Fields at all. You give me Rodgers, I would definitely have that schedule with 10 or 11 wins. I don't think, and I've said it for years, I think Justin Fields is just low IQ. And that can only take you so far. Isn't that right, folks? We've had great, by the way, shout out to everyone who watched this live. We've had great numbers for all these shows. Listen, great numbers for me, for any of our shows, is anyone in double digits. And even had 40 to 60 people watching live, and all these, inevitably all these get over 200, 300 views, and that's without a guest, that's without clips, that's without, shiny things, I need things to pop around the screen at all times to keep my viewers interested. No, you find folks like a real sports show like from days of yore. I don't need fucking clips. I don't need a green screen with fucking bullshit all over it. I'm not a nerd. No nerds in sports, losers. I'm the guy who shoves you in the locker. I'm the guy who gives you a squirrely. I'm the guy who pushes you down the stairs and blames it on someone else. Ha ha ha. So enjoy your fucking visual art bullshit podcast shows who don't have anything of themselves to talk about, so they talk about other people. This is the realest fucking sports show you're gonna come across, and I hope you enjoyed my musings today. Chris Mack going to the LAC semifinals. Hell yes! I don't know if you tuned in late. I covered the championship weekend at the top of the show, of course. Good shit. If you missed it, I picked Cornell and Maryland, but I wouldn't be surprised if Syracuse ups Maryland. But with Penn State sprinkling in as well, 4 perennial Final Four teams. So all seriousness, folks, I know I bombastically talk about lacrosse, but sit down. If you have the free time this weekend, as you should as Americans, tomorrow at 12 and 2:30 is the Final Four. And if nothing else, Monday, high 1 o'clock, a great way to kick off your barbecue. Or if you're like me and have no life, just crack something open at 1 o'clock, turn on that championship game, and I promise you, you will be entertained. If you're not familiar with lacrosse, you know, it's not soccer where you watch prima donnas who, if you touch their arm, will roll around as they score 0 goals in 100 minutes. It's constant action. It's men hitting each other at full force with steel poles. It's the epitome of hand-eye coordination. It's basically basketball once they're settled. Basketball with an extra man that can go behind the hoop. Think about it like that. It truly is a wonderful game. And there's no excuse. It's 2025. Ignorance is no excuse these days. I'm Dave, or my accountant's Dave. Thanks. Say, Ranger, what are you on about, old pal, buddy, old pal? In elementary school, we got out at 3:10 p.m. It's 3:12 p.m. your local time. School's out somewhere. School's out for the summer. Yeah. School's out forever. That's a band Teamster Tim probably likes because they had long hair and suck cock. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Memorial Day weekend. You know, I talked about it on the Ski Mask Collective we just did, which if you missed, as soon as I'm done here, just feel free to go check that out. We had a rollicking good time doing a real show with no clips or guests or stream snipes or talking about other people's. I know it's amazing in this sphere of podcasting, but we did a show without talking about other men's domestic bullshit. God, it's all so gay. But my point is this, what I said. It's not, I tell you this every year now, going on 5 years. It's not Happy Memorial Day. You get it? It's not, hey, I'm happy everyone died so that I'm here. No, it's, if anything, it's enjoy your Memorial Day. And remember, if you're drinking or imbibing in drug, you're doing it to remember, memorial, memory, get it? We're remembering the people that allow us to say faggot and retard and the N-word freely and truly freely, not like in England or Canada where they send you to jail, or Australia. You can say whatever you want. And remember those folks. Basically, remember your grandparents and former, and all those, even currently, who have died, so we can do a dumb podcast and say retard. And we can take up guns against our government, which I cannot wait to do. Come and take it, folks. Thank you to any of you who have served or are actively serving, truly. Shout out to my grandfathers who both served in World War II. Shout out to my great uncle who died in World War II. Shout out to my buddies who have served. Thank you for my service. My grandfather was bombed by Japs, if you'll remember the newspaper. People who watch the show know what I'm talking about. So that's all. Just don't be total fucking, Metro current male sheep. Oh, I'm off for 4 days. Let's go to the beer garden and get hammered, which I may do. We may end up, we can look equally here, but it's all about that. One person got here this way. I may have gotten here this way. So just remember, you get what I'm saying? Remember, folks, just remember why you're drinking and hitting your wife this weekend. And God bless the troops. Patreon.com, Ski Mask Media, $3. There's still content going up there. I know we haven't done shows, but there's constant content for $3 fucking there. More than any of these freeloaders give you. If you'll notice, I did the plugs at the top of the show and jokingly brought up super chats along the way once or twice. But I don't know if you noticed, my whole show isn't about reading your messages and draining you for all the money you're worth. You're supposed to sit back and relax and learn something when you watch podcasts. That's what we do here. That's what I do here. That's what we still do here. Hold the line, my podcast warrior brothers. And for you viewers, stop supporting these shit shows. Nothing is going to change until you make it change by stop giving your views away for free. Support real podcasts. End the super chat area. Stop watching these grifters who have shown up the last 6 months and bought a mic and a computer and nothing to talk about, the same shit everyone else is talking about. Hold the line. Look at my evil white pupils being made by the light. I can't stop looking at it. I love it. And I love you all, and God bless the troops, and bring home the votes, and God bless America. I'll see you sometime. Enjoy the lacrosse. Count all the troops. Bring home the votes.